You can be like the mayor of Anchorage and try and evoke wokeness as a way of scaring voters to vote for you, even though you're completely incompetent as a mayor, because it's trickier for you to sort of like come up with something else to scare them with, right? Like you need to evoke something that is sort of hypothetical and theoretical and just sort of something that you can, you're in Anchorage and a lot of the typical boogeymen aren't really available to you in Anchorage. It's not the most diverse place. Now, it is possible in Anchorage, you could get a once a year men in tutus, as he says, drag queen
convention
reading hour at the library. That's not inconceivable. That could happen there.
Where a drag queen reads the Cat in a Hat in a slightly more enthusiastic way than you might typically see at a library.
Or maybe they'll get rid of some of the Dr. Seuss books up there. I mean, who knows? But Mike Lindell and Steve Bannon, they have more to work with when they're talking about Minnesota. And I don't mean the Timberwolves. Here is Mike Lindell. And wow, I love this backdrop he's got.
I know. I want that for my
It's so regal. I mean,
well, and Jesus-y.
It's a little offensive that the lion takes prominence over Jesus, but whatever. I mean,
here is Mike Lindell.
In a fight here, Steve, what they've done with this flag is absolutely...
Oh, pause it. We should say that they're talking about the new Minnesota state flag. What was the old one?
It's crazy, actually. We could maybe pull up the old one. It was like a settler cartoon. Really like.
Oh, really?
With a Native American exiting.
All right, let's just do take it from here with the new flag.
This has been a fight here, Steve. What they've done with this flag is absolutely.
Is the population up there enraged? You've got an Islamist flag flying across above your state capitol. What in the hell's going on? What are people doing about it?
People, I haven't went out there in the public and asked everybody, but what I'm hearing for is.
This man has not been outside.
No, I haven't been out actually in the public in.
I stay away from those demons.
6 months. I've been hot. There are servers in Germany.
Been huff and glue in the warehouse.
Yeah.
I haven't went out there in the public and asked everybody, but what I'm hearing for is the people that I do see, it's an atrocity. Everybody's going, what is this? What is this? Is this a takeover? This is like a Trojan horse here in Minnesota, Steve. When they started pouring in, they don't love our country, and I'm going to say that.
They hate it. No. They hate our country. Omar hates our country. They hate our country. Not that they love our country. They're not neutral. They hate this country. They hate the Judeo-Christian West. They're Sharia supremacists.
Yeah, I grew up here. I spent my whole family, everybody's here. Everyone says, well, Mike, why don't you leave Minnesota? My company, it's a family and an employee-owned company. And we've been nothing but attacked. We're sitting here, and it's all different races. But, like you just heard there, we're 80% Christian in Minnesota. 1% these Islamics comes in here, and then they get to have this flag. It's like we're getting just attacked from every direction. It's disgusting.
Mike, we got to let's go. Mike, we need that situation in Minnesota. This ought to flip all Minnesota. This is a flip.
Sorry, pause it real quick. Minnesota is 80% Christian. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, I mean,
there were Native Americans that maybe existed until something happened there.
This new flag.
Well, wait a second. Before we get there, are we done with this clip? Because I want to hear. I mean, this sounds like what is this? I mean, this is so Islamist. This flag. It must be like, what is it? Like a picture of the Quran or what? Is there any more to this? Let's listen. Yeah, let's listen a little more. Because I mean, this
flag. It's like we're getting just attacked from every direction. It's just
Mike, we got to let's go. Mike, we need that situation in Minnesota. This ought to flip all Minnesota. This will flip Minnesota to President Trump, but we got to get on it. This is outrageous. You got an Islamist flag. You got an Islamist Sharia supremacist flag above the state capitol, one of the greatest states in this union, one of the most beautiful states, Minnesota. Mike, thank you very much. We'll see you this afternoon.
Thanks. It really does. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be with our great real president.
They cut his plug there.
Yeah, he tried to lift up the flag version of the MyPillow. Incidentally, that's talk about like desecrating the flag. But all right, let's put up this. Let's do the new one. Let's see the Islamist. Whoa!
So it's a dark blue shape resembling Minnesota on the left, according to with a white 8-pointed North Star on it. The North Star, but it's. If you take one of the points away, it becomes a 7-pointed star, and we all know what that's meant.
No, I don't know what that's about.
Oh, isn't that supposed to be satanic?
Well,
I don't even know.
Well, wait,
I'm not a lunatic.
Isn't the North Star? Is that a?
I was being sarcastic with that part, but that seems pretty secular to me.
They
It's
say
just a
it
North
shares
Star.
too many colors with the Puntland state of Somalia flag, or at least that was
what's
the complaint
weird?
when Charlie Kirk was saying it.
Have they looked back and seen like what the Minnesota hockey team was called when I was a kid?
The North Stars.
Yes.
Yeah, but Muslims can see the North Star too.
That was
Some
was what they do, is that they sent out, like, that's what Sharia does. It
Yeah.
sends out like beacons in the past, and that's, but what, there's like a 30-year lag.
It's indoctrination.
Is North Star the symbol of Minnesota?
I mean, it's a very prominent symbol, certainly. The people are saying the 8-point is a Viking symbology, which may be true, maybe not. I don't know. I will just say, like, this is a complete projection. This is basically a corporate neutering of what was an offensive flag of political indoctrination. You can put up the old one here. You literally see it's a settler cartoon of a Minnesota settler plowing land as a Native American rides across it on a horse. And yeah, I mean, kind of all that you need right there. Like, there goes that's how we became, Minnesota became 80% Christian.
I mean, this is also to your point, Sam. How like the Islamists, they just plant these seeds and they just keep ramping things up to implement their agenda. Because I remember hearing some years ago that Sharia law was being indoctrinated into state houses all across the country.
Oh my God. There was multiple states across the country during the Bush administration where the legislatures outlawed Sharia law because they thought that they were going to be taken over.
Well, a fool's errand.
Oh, and incidentally, North Star is a symbol of Minnesota and has been the state's official motto since 1858.
Islamists.
Which is, yeah, and again, like, just to put that up, like,
It's on the state seal.
and the Native American, as you point out, riding to the left or to the west, which is where the Dakota were dispossessed to.
I mean, anti-Semitism is in the news a lot because there is a rise in anti-Semitic incidents. But what most people on the right or in the center are focusing on is the moral panic about anti-Semitism. What is not discussed enough is the rampant institutional Islamophobia that this country is engaging in and has been for decades. It is not just hatred that exists in society in this instance. It is institutional. It is a key part of our foreign policy. It is a key part of, honestly, American empire because of what we've decided our role is in the region of the Middle East.
They refer to Iraq and Afghanistan as Indian country when we were flying missions over there.
And so, I just get so annoyed that we can't actually talk about how this institutional racism is directing us right now. And it's reflected in the way that Steve Bannon feels like he can talk about this.
L'Étoile du Nord is on that old symbol. That is the North Star.
What? God, these Islamists. They go back. They really
but that's
are
French.
tricky. I know.
That's what the people should have said. Hey, we're trying to de-Frenchify.
And apparently the blue on, I mean, you could see that same blue is in the old flag. The new blue, it's supposed to be about all the lakes and
or is it about all the Muslims? I like the idea of the Trojan horse versus the Trojan flag. Like, you can put people in a giant horse. You can't really smuggle people in a flag and then what are you gonna unroll it and they'll come
super
out?
thin people.
Yeah.
Woven into the fabric.
Like you get rolled up in a mattress.
Unbelievable.
They've been really on that. Charlie Kirk was talking about that months ago. And it's like that it shares a color scheme with Somali flag, but like it's also colors that are associated with Minnesota.
They love, I mean, they just want to indoctrinate their audience into this extreme conspiratorial thinking about particularly Muslim people, but also black people and Jews and whatever.
But it's like the
The flag of Somalia is blue, the same color blue, incidentally, that the existing flag of Minnesota was. And
maybe goes back farther than we realize.
but the star is a 5. They've changed the star.
Yeah.
Now it actually looks like a star. Like literally a star.
And now the plan commences to take over your Lake Minnetonka cabins and turn them into mosques.
I do enjoy how much Ilhan Omar just triggers them. I saw Trump call her a hater over the weekend, and she did some TikTok saying like, "I do hate you," basically. And you know that's why she's the GOAT right now in Congress.
Mommy's Lilman. Did you catch Chris Cuomo promoting ivermectin as a COVID treatment on PBD? You can smell the stench of plopped human shite seeping through your device's screen. It's a ridiculous turn, but nonetheless unsurprising.
I don't care, honestly.
Yeah. Who?
He's going to bring all of his all those Cuomo heads.
Right.
They roll deep.
Yeah,
That's the thing is like when you leave the mothership, we've seen this with Fox News, but they at least were, ideological in what they were promoting, like Tucker Carlson or Bill O'Reilly. When you're a centrist kind of CNN anchor, what is your constituency when you leave? Like you've just got to carve out a niche for yourself. And I don't know.
Got to fight tooth and nail with Don Lemon for every
Exactly.
view.
Right. Who cares?
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.